Welcome. It's Friday and it's Rainier Avenue Radio Show Ministries Matter. We're on every Friday at 12:30. We're your community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, and of course the Rainier Avenue Radio App. Seniors Matter invites a variety of guests to discuss issues and activities that impact the lives of older adults, their families, and the community. Do you need special documents notarized? Are you a senior that needs documents read to you for clarity or completion? If so, call me, Brenda at Black Orchid Notary. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. Today, my guest is Navy veteran Crystal Whiteside-Lemon. She's the president of C&L Mobile Notary, with 11 years experience as a professional Florida notary public and certified notary agent. Welcome to the show, Crystal.
Welcome,
it's good to see you.
Thank you. I'm trying to welcome you to the show. Thank you.
That's okay. That's because you are a co-host of your own show, so I understand how that is. You look beautiful, girl. I haven't seen you in so long.
So do you.
Thank you. So, Crystal, how did you start your business and why?
I started my business out of the need of the community. I met some older seniors that wanted service and they were not receiving what they needed. They didn't understand the documents. They didn't understand why someone would take advantage of them. So it's just like a scam. So my thought was, why don't I get in the game and do a better service and then promote how the notary is supposed to be done. So I teach my clients as we go along each transaction. So that's how I got started. There was a need in the community and I needed to transition to something that I owned.
I understand completely. And let me just back up. I know officially next week is Veterans Day, but I would like to say thank you to you and your husband for the service that you have given us.
Well, thank you.
Because everybody can't do that.
It's a great honor. I mean, I would do it all over again. That's just how much I enjoyed what I did in the military, working in communications.
So with you saying that, you want to tell my audience a little bit about what it was like being in the Navy?
It was exciting. We still experience, I think that's where my first experience of racism was. It was shocking. I was stationed in California, in San Diego. And when you meet someone different that find you as a threat, then you have to realize they're the ones that has a problem, not you. So I was told to stand my ground and remember why I came in. I came in to serve. I came to give my all to the country, not to that individual. I would protect them, but sometimes you have to ignore the ignorant that's in the room.
Well said. Well said. So how long were you in the military?
20 fabulous years.
Whoa.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. And I'm sure you had a lot of opportunities to visit other countries or maybe even in the United States.
In the United States was okay, but I met my husband in Japan. So I think that was my fabulous time.
Most definitely. I love it.
Bring back a prize.
Yes. What part of Japan? I've only been to, let's see, I've been to Tokyo, Nagoya, and there was one other and I can't think of it right now.
Okay. Well, my husband was stationed in Yokosuka. I partied in Tokyo, so that was real easy. And then we were 45, my duty station is 45 minutes outside of Tokyo. So it's in the area of Kamasaya. I was at a receiver site as a radioman. And then I lived in Atsugi. So Atsugi is another base. And it was nice. It was 5 minutes walk from my apartment. But it was a good time. I mean, the yen was high. We wore mini skirts and plastic see-through skirts, fishnet stockings. So
not while you were on duty, though.
No, but soon after we changed clothes. So we had to party at that time. I don't do that now. I'm an elder, so
I understand. Understand. So going back to business, what
Okay.
were some of the obstacles that you faced in starting your business?
Okay. So I'm originally from California. So we relocated where our family, my husband is from the South. So we live here in Jacksonville, Florida. And starting my business was challenging. I had all the gun ho that you could ever want. But when you ask someone for help, they see it more as a threat. It's like they wanted to keep you bound in an
Mhm.
area. Well, as a notary, you have the whole state. At least for me, I do. And I
Yeah.
travel from one end to the county to the next, and then I venture on to the next county. So when someone tries to put a thorn in your side, I had to figure it out. So I was a one woman show praying with God. I had my mother, my godmother on the other side, my aunt. And as they prayed with me and I learned and maneuvered my way through it, I mean, I was a ball of fire just trying to learn it. And so now that I have it, I'm in the business of giving back. So that was my biggest obstacle, was someone trying to say no or put their thumb on my neck and say, hey, not you.
Well, I understand exactly what you're saying, and you are to be commended because I know that you are a fierce warrior, and when you set your mind about doing something, you do it and you get it done. And that's one of the things I admire about you.
Thank you.
So, what I know that you enjoy your work, there's no doubt
Mhm.
about it because we've talked many times. But what do you enjoy most about your work?
The service of helping someone else, it's nothing like the feel of a client telling you thank you and they burst into tears because of all that has happened that you don't even know. You know, that background work that you don't know about, what happens behind the scenes. And
Mhm.
that's when the true tale come out, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're in the right field and you're giving the right service. My brand means so much to me because I guarantee my work. So if I do something wrong, I'm not afraid to admit it. If I
Mhm.
have to come back in the middle of the night and say, hey, you know what? I believe I did something wrong. Will you mind if we do this again? Of course, I
Mm.
call first, but still, early on, there was mistakes made. And so as I got better, I kept thinking about, I don't want to be that notary where someone is sitting there crying and say I failed them. So
I
I
understand.
keep working hard, finding out other ways of doing something. I had to acquire a mentor. And so when I acquired a mentor, it was like the heavens had opened up. So now I
Mhm.
have three mentors in different areas of my business, but having a secure mentor that knows what they're doing and one that will tell you when they don't know. They're going back to their mentor, they're doing the research. That's when you have a real live person that's helping you and appreciating that you're going to come up that ladder with you. See, I don't want to come up the ladder by myself. I don't want to look back and say, let me run up a little bit higher. I want to pull
Mhm.
you up where I am. So
Right.
can't be a hog.
Yeah. I love it. Well
Thank
said.
you.
Well said. If you're just tuning in, this is Seniors Matter. We're live every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Rainier Avenue Radio. And of course, you can view us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and the Rainier Radio app. Um, in case you are interested in end of life planning and you don't have anyone to talk to, I am a certified end of life facilitator. Please give me a call at 206-683-2636. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. I do Zoom sessions also, so please feel free to call me. My guest today is Navy veteran Crystal Whiteside-Lemon. Crystal is one of a kind. Number one, to be a veteran, because I have great admiration for that. Because I remember I had a friend in high school. Her name was Alpha Williams, and she got drafted. Well,
Mm.
Alpha is a girl, and they thought it was a guy. So he almost had to go in, but she was able to get out at that time. But it was like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
But anyway, so since you've been doing your business a while, I know that you also belong to the National Notary Association. And I
And
also
I,
know that you've had some special recognition.
Oh, yes. You mean the both of us? Yes. Yes. In 2018, I was honored as a special notary of the year honoree. That
Mhm.
means that we will always have that title. Uh, and it was a blessing. So it wasn't about whether you win or lose because everyone were winners in the room.
Right.
And since then, we become ambassadors, Brenda
Hmm.
and myself, and we've been striving to uphold the recognition of a notary. I would say the recognition of a notary because it's an honor to be a notary, an officer of the court. You know, you're held at a high standard. So that recognition means something, but also the recognition of being a distinguished speaker. So now that platform has gone further in my business of instructing others, teaching and mentoring, and being a notary ambassador. I mean, it's the world because you can touch other lives, just like your pen is life and death in your hand. Well, you being an instructor, you can help others gain more, be recognized in their community, and just feel good. You know, I like to help empower women and men. And if you're not doing that, then you're in the way. I'm gonna move you out the way so we can empower others to get further.
Well said. Well said. Yes, the recognition is appreciated, and but I also think too that when someone sees that you have credentials,
Mhm.
then they tend to give you a little more respect and realize that maybe you really do know what you're talking about.
I've gotten that before, and it didn't come out that way. The person was being very rude and obnoxious, but unfortunately, at the time, it was right after the conference in 2018. I think it was like in February, right before Valentine's Day, and they wanted to get married. And I was in
Mm.
my office. I had shined up my little crystal award, and it was sitting across from us. And someone said, "How do I know you doing what you're supposed to be doing?" I said, "Okay,
Ooh.
I'm a Navy vet. You can see my accolades there." I said, "But what about this award? You think that does it for you?" And at the time, I had my magazine, and I said, I don't have to boast. Sir, how
Mhm.
did you come by asking for my service? You were recommended.
Mhm.
I said, what about the person that recommended me? Were they worthy for you to come all the way here? And so he said, yes. I said, then what's the problem? You know, what is I really wanted to know. It wasn't to be facetious or anything. I wanted to know. He said, oh, I thought I'd just harass you and see what you do. I said, well, I tell you what, I don't think you got my feathers roughed up enough. So are we still prepared to get married? Do we want to finish, this little consultation so we can get you all set? He says, yeah, I want to get married right now. Now,
Mm.
before that, he wanted to get married in 2 weeks. But he
Aha.
said, he looked her in her eyes. She said, let's do this. We ready. I said, well, great. I'm ready too. We stepped out. Well, they stepped out. I put my robe on them. I married them in my office. It's something about the credentials, but it's also something about having self-control because that
Mhm.
conversation could have went one way or the other.
Right.
And so since I've married them, they're very good friends. And he does joke a lot, but at the time of the conversation, it didn't sound like joking. It was
Right.
sounding
I
like
hear
a
you.
real, true test. And so now when I see him, I just laugh. You want to get married? And he just starts laughing. But you know that the rewards that you receive and the accolades, they do mean something. So it's not like in the Navy where we put a new chevron on our shoulder and we walk around like this trying to show somebody we made it. It's not about making it. It's about your mannerism. How do you hold yourself? So when you're teaching someone or just bringing knowledge to them, do it in such a way it's loving and pleasing. That I
So,
think will be better.
right. And so, since you do train people to become notaries, have you had the opportunity to help other veterans become notaries?
Yes, yes, yes. And let me tell you how I do that. I send them to cynanotary.com, CYNA notary.com. There you could become a notary signing agent, a notary permit runner, and a remote online notarization specialist. How about that?
Well, that's a good
Then
one.
a notary. Yes. CennaNotary.com. And it's rewarding because then when they go over there, they realize, hey, so now what do I do? Now what do I do? Well, what
They
you
call
do is,
Crystal.
yeah, they can call me. But you know what? Now we've gotten better. So now Cynthia has, and this is Cynthia Alexander, my mentor. She has a membership program called Cyna Learn, CYNA Learn.com. So what we're doing is introducing the notaries into a realization of a one-stop shop. So if you want to know more, my number is 904-505-3948. 904-505-3958.
And what's that website again?
Cyna Notary, CYNANOTARY.com. And I wanted to correct myself. I believe I gave you a new telephone number. It's 904-505-3948.
Thank you for that. You know, and one of the things I think is so exciting, because in Florida, you can be a notary and perform marriages.
Yes.
And in Washington State, you cannot be a notary and perform weddings, but you can become an ordained minister.
Yes.
And then you can marry people. But, you know, the notary business, I've been in it for a while too, and it has changed so much, but for the good.
Yes.
And it is, so many doors have been opened for notaries. I just am so grateful that I'm involved in it at this time.
It's an awesome experience.
So is there any story you can tell that is funny or, how do I want to classify it? I just want to talk a little bit more about your experience as being a veteran, because I still can't get over women. And when I say I can't get over it, I don't mean it in a negative way. I just think that there was a time when women went into the military. Well, first off, they didn't really go into the military to be on ships. They were probably more on land, if I'm not mistaken. But now they can be anywhere and any place. They can be in battle, you know. So
the ones that choose.
The ones that choose.
Yes.
And that's the key right there. You make that choice on what branch you want to go into and what you want to do. And I think that is so wonderful. But I'd like to hear if you have a story or two that might be enlightening to my audience. And I'm sure there will be somebody out there that can relate to it.
Yes. I have several, but the one that comes to mind is my last tour in the Navy. We were in Bahrain, and it was the first time I had been to Bahrain, and I have a girlfriend that loved to shop as much as I do. So we were trying to pick up our little last trinkets and stuff. And it was Sunday, and Sunday you're not supposed to be outside without a male figure.
Tell the audience where Bahrain is.
Oh goodness, you would do that to me. Bahrain. Okay, so Bahrain is by the IEO. I want to say that, but I know my military people is like, she don't remember. No, I do not. Gosh.
Well, what country is it near?
I want to say Iraq, but I don't want to be guessing. You know,
well,
I don't have my map up.
Iraq and Iran, right? Somewhere in that area?
Yes, but I can't remember, to tell you the truth.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. But Bahrain is also
call later.
But you know what? The reason why most people will understand and know what Bahrain is, because that's another one of the biggest tourist spots to go overseas to.
Okay.
So you might hear people like Steve Harvey. He loves going to Bahrain. So I'm sure it's not off the beaten path of someone knowing where Bahrain is. For me, I'd remember Bahrain because I went to the gold souk. I love gold and silver and buying brick gold bars. That's some of the things that you can do in Bahrain. And so we went, And we noticed that every time we went to a new country, there was always have McDonald's, but there was a KFC.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. And then the Coca-Cola or the Pepsi was always great. It tastes better than it does in the States. I don't know if the formula is different or not, or we're just missing home, but we loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But so we were there to go to a jeweler and pick up our little goods. And these men had surrounded us. And it didn't look too good.
Did you have a head wrap on?
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Okay.
We didn't have a head wrap. We didn't have to, but we didn't think about being cautious enough to not go out on Sunday because we were leaving on Monday. So we would have lost our gold. I don't think we were coming back in. We were leaving like, weeks early. So anyway, we came out of the jeweler and all these men are there so they can pray or hang out or wherever they do. But there was no women in that little courtyard. And we got through. Just imagine you going through a tiny hole. Okay. And then it's slowly closing up with men. And there was a Navy veteran that was getting out of a cab. And my eyes popped up big. And I said, hey, baby, let's go. Come on. Pick it up. Let's go. And we jumped in the cab before and closed the door. And then the guys were, and making all this noise. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. All I wanted to do was get back to the base. And when we got there, the guy said, one of the gate guards said, you cannot stop shopping. And I said, it was the last one. It was the last thing I had. I had to go get it. And so he said, one of these days, you're going to learn that shopping is not for everybody. Okay, that wasn't going to be the tour. So the next time we went somewhere, we did. We had all these giant pictures. And if I had known that this was going to be up, I would have shown you one of the pictures that we brought. And so the captain on the boat, I was on a USNS at this time, and he says, where are you going with that picture? I said, to my stateroom. He says, no, you're not. No, you're not. Your closet cannot hold that. And he was right. So have you ever wondered how people got all their little trinkets back to the base or back to their home? We don't always mail it. So I'm not going to tell you where I hid it, but I just know that I brought it back and put it on my wall. I just had to have a trinket somewhere. And
right.
It
couldn't have been a magnet, huh?
No, I wasn't into magnets then. No, I wasn't into magnets. And Egypt was very nice, warm, pleasing. I'd never seen a city built before. I mean, really, just nothing but sand. And every time we came in port, there was something else, like a new marble wall for a hotel, or the marketplace was not the marketplace anymore because they put these new marble buildings here. And I'm like, well, how do they stay up? I'm like, you lay all this down within a week. I've never seen something like that. So Hurghada, Egypt was one of my first big tour places, and it was not a city. It was just like a big marketplace, and they were building this city. So the funny thing on that is that I almost fell between my ship and the ship that was coming to pick us up to go to, it was in Cairo. Yeah, we were going to Cairo. And so we were doing this tour, and I kept saying, I got to get on the boat. Well, they have water hours in that time. I don't know what they're doing now. So every time the man raised his arm, you had an odor. So I was like, oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I just had breakfast. The line is getting short. It's like 118 of us trying to get off the ship. And so everybody would get down, show their little paper so they can get on the tour. We had to take this little ferry on over. So one of the guys that I trusted on this tour, and I'm on a USNS. So a USNS means that there's submariners on board with military. And so we get there, and I said, Blue, I'm not going to make it. I just can't. Every time he lifted his arm, I'm just not going to make it. So Blue say, jump. So I threw my bag over, and we're gone. I think this is like 3 or 4 days. So it's just a small bag. And everybody in the boat is like looking up like this. Is this girl foolish? I said, yes. I said, Blue, I trust it. If something happens to me, my mother's going to get you. Okay. And I trusted him. And so I jumped and he caught me. And he was
Wow.
big and strong like my dad. My dad had just passed away. And he had came and met my mom, and stuff like that. And then, you know how you can tell somebody, I trust you with my child. But no, I jumped and he caught me. Wow. And when I looked up at him, I said, thank you, Blue. And he put me down. And the whole time we was getting to the shore, they kept saying, y'all must be together. I said, no, he got a wife and a child. I'm engaged. I said, you have to know someone that you really would trust. And I trusted him. And from that whole cruise, no matter what happened, he always said, Crystal, you ready? I said, yeah. And if I had to jump again, I would want Blue right there.
Well, you have definitely led an exciting life, and I appreciate the fact that you're giving service to those people that need our notary services. And as I said before, I thank you for giving your service to the nation, because it takes a lot to do what you do. And I just want to let everyone know that if you are a veteran, we really do appreciate your service, because we couldn't do it without you, and we still can't do it without those that are serving right now. This is Brenda Charles-Edwards, host of the Seniors Matters show. You can watch us live every Friday at 12:30 on the Rainier Avenue Radio .world, your community radio station, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, and of course, our Rainier Avenue Radio app. Thank you to my listening audience. Thank you to my special Navy veteran friend, cohort, buddy. You are just so wonderful, and I appreciate everything you do. Give my love to your husband and to everyone. Be safe and live your life like it's golden. The coronavirus edition is up next. Crystal, I will talk to you later, hon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You know you can't get enough of Rainier Avenue Radio.